Hi guys, it's Sam Day here from DeyTips.com and welcome to another Day Tips Live. Now I'm fully aware that it is a Saturday night and I'm not expecting a lot of you to come on live. But if you do come on live, then do leave your comments or your questions in the chat section. And I'll do my best to answer your questions. But if you're watching this and it's after the fact, and we're not currently live, then please do leave your questions in the comment section as well, so that I can potentially answer it in a future Day Tips Live. So as you've probably seen from the title, we're actually speaking about why your visitors are not turning into customers. So if you're having this issue whereby, you're seeing your view count, maybe in your Shopify website, in your Squarespace website, your WordPress, Google Analytics or whatnot, you're seeing visitors coming in, but no one is actually buying. That's what I'm going to be covering in this video to hopefully kind of help you to overcome that issue, to identify why that might be, and some of the things you want to keep in mind to hopefully improve that and to change that. So that is kind of like the premise of this live. One thing that I will say, I don't have a proper schedule yet for my lives, but I'm starting to develop one, kind of seeing what the responses are like as well from these lives as well. And, what time you guys are actually, watching and logging on. So I'm kind of experimenting at the moment. But when I am going live, I'm doing my best to update my Instagram, which is at DeyTips. That's DeyTips.com. So if you want to kind of know when I'm going live and get a heads up, then do make sure you check out my Instagram and follow me there for more info. But yeah, let's get straight into it. So, why is your traffic not converting? So you're getting traffic, but people are not buying yet. You don't have any customers. You're just getting a lot of visitors, or maybe you're not getting as many customers as you would have hoped or you were thinking of. What are some of the things you can do to kind of change that, to reverse that? So there's three main reasons why you might not be generating sales at the moment. So maybe you've got customers, but you haven't got sales or enough sales. These are the three main areas that you want to focus on. The first area is your traffic source. So where are you getting your traffic from? That could be one of the factors why you're not generating sales, because not all traffic sources are created equal. So for example, there's different places you can get your traffic from. You can get your traffic from high authority websites, low authority websites. You can get your traffic for free. You can pay for your traffic. There's so many different ways in which you can actually go about getting traffic to your website. And that might be the first place you want to start with regards to fixing your traffic but no sales issue. You want to really start thinking about, where is that traffic coming from? So that could be something that you want to keep in mind. Now, the second thing that might be stopping you from generating the sales that you would like could be your website itself. Like maybe there's nothing wrong with the traffic, but it could be your website is having some sort of issue. So that's the second place where you want to go and investigate. And by issue, I mean something technical. So maybe you've got, your buy now button just isn't working, or people are finding your website a little bit difficult. They don't understand it. Maybe you've got things in a complicated place. So that's the second thing, is go back through your website, make sure everything is working well, functioning well, and make sure that your website is intuitive and it's easy for people to make purchases as well. So that's the second thing that you want to keep in mind: traffic sources and also your website. Now, the third thing that you want to keep in mind is your actual product itself, or your actual offer. So is it enticing enough? Is it sexy enough? Is it something that people actually want? And is it priced well enough? So if your traffic source is fine and you believe that your website is working fine, you then need to start thinking about your product itself, and whether or not your product is actually meeting the needs of your customer. And if it is, are you conveying that well enough on your website? So I've done other lives where I've spoken about sales copy, and how to use sales copy, kind of like, language on your website that will help to kind of appease your target customers, and help to kind of convince them that, yeah, I should actually buy this product. I should invest in this service. So you want to make sure that you have those three things in mind when you're thinking about a traffic issue that's not converting into sales at the moment. So let's go back to the top and start talking about traffic sources. So if you've followed this channel for any length of time, you know I speak a lot about traffic. It's even the title of my free giveaway, my free book, which is behind me, The Formula. There should also be a link to it in the description down below. And that formula is basically saying that traffic plus conversions equals sales. So oftentimes we focus too much on traffic. We focus on how many people can we get to our website, but we don't focus enough on actually the process of converting a visitor into a lead or a sale. And that's what that ebook is all about. And that's what the formula basically is in terms of helping you to generate sales back to your website. So there are two main types of traffic that I speak about in the formula. And the first is paid traffic. So paid traffic, it gives it away in its name. That's traffic that you actually spend money and you pay for to get people back to your website. So paid traffic includes things such as Facebook ads, which is, linked also to Instagram ads as well. So if you're utilizing the Facebook ads manager, then you can actually place ads on Instagram and you can place ads on Facebook. And Facebook ads can be really useful. And I've seen like really great results on Facebook ads as well. So there's so many different ways in which you can market and promote your website using Facebook ads. So if you haven't tried that, 100% I recommend that as a paid traffic source. You also have Google ads as well. So Google is known as pay-per-click advertisement, similar to Bing as well and Yahoo. So when you go onto those search engines and you type in a query, you may notice that there's some advertisements that pop up and show up just before the search results, the natural search results. And these paid ads, someone is paying to be there. And whenever someone clicks on these ads, the person who is advertising there will get charged. So that's something that you want to keep in mind as well. These work really well because these are kind of like intent-based advertisements. So if someone is searching for, let's say, for example, you're a fitness instructor, someone goes to Google and they type in fitness instructor and your ad shows up, they are more likely, if they click on that ad, to actually become a customer of yours because they've actually typed in and they're actively looking for and seeking a fitness instructor. So it's intent-based marketing. Whereas Facebook marketing and other forms of marketing that are similar, if you're advertising on any kind of social media platform, is known as interruption marketing, because someone didn't go onto Facebook or onto Instagram to see your advert. They probably went onto Instagram or onto Facebook so that they can message their friend, or they can put a post out, or they can just check and see what people are doing on those platforms and socialize. So when you're showing them an advert, you're interrupting what they came to that platform to do. So that's one thing that you want to keep in mind when you're creating your adverts as well. If you are creating adverts on a paid platform that is interrupting someone, then you want to make sure that your advert pops, that it kind of stops them in their tracks and gives them a reason to want to actually engage with your advert, to click on your ad and to actually engage with your website. So that's something that you want to keep in mind as well. And as well as paid traffic, you also have what's known as free traffic. So free traffic, it says it on the tin. It's fairly simple. Free traffic is basically traffic that you don't pay for, but it still allows you the ability to actually drive people back to your website or to your offer. So, most common forms of free traffic would be search engine optimization. And I'm going to be doing a live on that soon. So, make sure you have your notification bell on so you don't miss that live, because I'm definitely going to be doing more on search engine optimization and things you can do basically to show up as high as possible in the major search engines such as Google, Yahoo, and Bing for the keywords that are important for you and for your business. So that's what search engine optimization is. And as well, that can convert really well, similar to Google and Yahoo and Bing pay-per-click. It converts well because it's intent-based marketing. If someone is searching for something and then your link shows up in Google and they click on that, then they are a lot more likely to make a purchase because they are in the ready. They're more than likely in the ready to buy mindset. So that's, again, SEO, something that you want to be doing on your website and doing it well. And you also have social media marketing. So this is where you're not paying for ads on social, but you're actively on Facebook. You're putting out content. You're putting content out on maybe Instagram, maybe Pinterest, maybe LinkedIn, and you're organically posting valuable information, and you're doing what's known as content marketing as a way to give out valuable information that will appeal to your target demographic. And over time, you're going to build a following, and that following that know, like, and trust you are a lot more likely to go to your website and make purchases. So that's a way to actually gain organic traffic back to your website. But if you're getting traffic to your website from a source that's not reputable, so if it's a website that's fairly unknown, then that could be an issue. That could be one of the reasons why your website visitors are not buying, simply because your traffic sources are not reputable. That people are not coming from websites that are well known, and that traffic might be spammy traffic, or it might be traffic that's coming from countries that doesn't really relate to what it is you're trying to accomplish on your website. But it might not even have anything to do with the traffic source. You might be getting traffic from Google or from Facebook or maybe even YouTube ads or something like that, but you might be targeting the wrong people. So if you're delivering the right message to the wrong people, then they're not going to be able to resonate. And as a result, they're not going to take any action on your website. So that's one thing you want to make sure when you're doing Google pay-per-click advertisements. You want to make sure you're choosing the right kinds of keywords. And it sounds very sounds very straightforward and simple, but it's very easy to choose the wrong keyword that's just not going to convert for you into any kind of sales. So you want to make sure you're choosing the keywords that your potential customers are going to be utilizing to actually find the product or the service that it is that you're offering on your website. Similarly to if you're doing Facebook ads or LinkedIn ads, you want to make sure that you're targeting the right people. So you can choose your targeting parameters. When you're utilizing these platforms, you can target people based on location, based on age, based on gender. So you want to make sure that you're actually targeting people who are likely to be interested in the products and services that you have on offer. And when you're doing social media marketing as well, if you're doing social media or SEO, again, you want to make content that will appease your target customer. So always think about your target customer first. What kind of content will they enjoy? What kind of content will bring them value, will bring them entertainment? If you create content that will resonate with your target customer, then they are a lot more likely to actually make a purchase when they do make the decision to visit your website. So those are some of the ways in which you can actually improve your site. The second thing I mentioned, which was your website, I would recommend to get people to to test out your website, get them to visit your site, maybe put some money in their account and say, hey, look, make a purchase on my website. Tell me how easy it is. Tell me how difficult it is. Tell me what you had issues with. And when you get someone else like that to give you honest feedback, then they might come back to you and say, hey, I just didn't know how to order, or I went to the add to cart button and I didn't know what to do, and it was a little bit finicky and it wasn't as seamless. Or they might say they couldn't read the text or understand it properly, or maybe the payment didn't go through properly. So it's really a good idea to get someone to test your website, get different people to test your website, get different opinions of it, see if it loads well on mobile phones, on tablet devices, see if it shows up in the way that it should show up. Because if it's, for example, not showing up well on mobile phones, then that could be costing you sales as well, because a lot of people now are browsing the internet via their mobile phone. And if your website is not optimized for that, then that could be costing you sales as well. So a couple of housekeeping things that you want to make sure you're doing on your website. Number one, make sure that your website, like I said, is mobile friendly and is responsive. So it shows up well on multiple different screens and multiple different devices. You want to make sure that it's user friendly. So don't use text and fonts that people can't see or can't read properly. You know, make sure people can actually read it effectively and that they're not struggling to read the text. You also want to make sure that you're actually that your website doesn't use colors that puts people off. So if the colors on your website are kind of just, maybe they're attractive, but it diverts people away from the aim of the site, which is to actually drive customers, then that can be an issue as well. And also don't make sure that there's not too many distractions as well. If you're sending people to a sales page, then make sure there's not too many buttons that they can click and go off to another page and so on and so forth. You know, make sure that your sales pages are really focused and concentrated on where it is that you want to take your website visitor in terms of, you know, through the customer journey. So those are some of the things that you want to make sure that you keep in mind. And in terms of the last thing is your offer. So once you know, had figured out your traffic, once you figured out your website, you then want to start thinking about how can you make your offer more appealing to your target customers. So that's things like price. So maybe people are coming to your website, but you know, it's just not priced well enough. You know, maybe it's too expensive, and there's just other alternatives on the internet. Maybe you don't have anything that is kind of like captivating them to buy now. So I spoke about in one of my other lives, you know, creating urgency on your website. You know, give people seasonal offers, give people a reason to make a purchase now, rather than saying, you know what, I'm going to go off this website and maybe I'll come back in a week, and then they end up never coming back. So you want to give people a reason to come back again. You want to look at the sales copy on your website. You want to look at the price on your website. Add multiple buy now buttons as well. So that could be an issue if you've got long form sales copy and people have to scroll down to actually to click the buy now or add to cart button, then that can actually be costing you sales as well. So you want to make sure and ensure that you're actually utilizing multiple buy now buttons if you are utilizing long form sales copy and people have to scroll to actually, you know, get through your sales copy. So those are a couple of throwaway tips that you can utilize to kind of hopefully improve the way in which your website converts. If you do have any questions or comments, all of my information is going to be in the description down below. So do let me know. But I've written the formula for a reason. The formula is traffic plus conversions equals sales. And I explain that in more depth in my free guide, which is behind me. Again, links to it will be in the description down below. But yeah, and I'm going to be speaking more about, you know, this specifically, you know, the different traffic sources. So specifically about Facebook, Google Ads, SEO, and also conversion optimization as well to help you with these points specifically. But I hope this video brought you value. And until the next DeyTips live, have a great day, evening, afternoon, whatever time of the day it is for you. And I will see you guys soon.